Hey, Crosswatchers for Capricorn. Welcome to your Crosswatcher video for Capricorn for the month of July. We're going to jump in and see what's going on with your Capricorn. Keep in mind, guys, these are general readings. Parts may resonate. All of it may resonate. Some of it may resonate. And if you're a Capricorn that's watching, because you're wanting to see if I got it right, it could resonate and it may not. If it doesn't, it could just be, keep in mind their general readings and it might not apply to you. Or it could be that your person is not cross-watching, or if they are cross-watching, they might be cross-watching a different channel. So, but we're going to see if Spirit has brought you here. There's a message for you somewhere. I guarantee you that. Let's see what is coming up. And keep in mind, guys, I'm always asking for information to come in that is going to bring healing for the relationship, that's going to help be like a constructive kind of energy here. I'm not trying to, you know, spill tea or throw shade or get into anybody's dirty laundry or violate their privacy. I always do this with the intention, and I ask that the information that come in be for the best and highest good of all involved. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so let's see July. Magician. So your Capricorn is in some powerful energy in the month of July. They're showing up here as the Magician. This is a major arcana card, so this is letting us know that your Capricorn's at a pretty significant turning point in their life right now. And right now, very much, a lot of it is going to be about making things happen, manifesting, creating. Your Capricorn might even be on a very lucky streak. Okay, and things might be flowing a lot more easily. I feel some of you who are dealing with a Capricorn, or if you haven't had contact for a Capricorn in some while, Mercury retrograde might be circling them back your way. It could be that they've changed or they've grown a lot since they've last connected with you, and so they're feeling now that they want to kind of come back around and, I guess, for lack of a better word, show off, but not like in an ego, cocky kind of way, just more kind of like, hey, look, I'm in a better place, and I want to show you what I've been able to accomplish since we've last, seen each other, or since we've last spent time together. The Magician card is also, like I said, a major arcana card, so it could also do about like a soul connection. They might be feeling the soul connection they had with you, and so they might be wanting to circle back around and kind of double check and see, hey, like, is it really what I remembered it to be? Would the connection still be alive today? So I do feel some of you are going to be hearing from a Capricorn if you haven't heard from one in a while. Those of you who've been dealing with a Capricorn where you're already married to a Capricorn or living with a Capricorn, or you've been dating with a Capricorn for a while, if your Capricorn's been in kind of a funk or been a little bit moody over the past few months, July could be a time when they're really beginning to come out of it, like snap out of it and come into really positive, productive energy. I feel like your Capricorn's going to be really busy in July. They're going to have a lot of things that are wanting to work on, a lot of things that are wanting to do. They might be consulting with you as well, not in the sense that they're looking for your approval per se, but they might be wanting to bounce ideas off of you. They might be pulling you into certain projects or things that they're working on, things of that nature. Next we have the Hanged Man. This is our stalker card, you guys. This has come up for all 3 readings that I've done so far in this little Crosswatcher series. So there's a little bit of a thing here where I think maybe the summertime, or at least this summer, is not going to be a time of like massive, fast-moving romantic relationships. Well, there might be some summer flings and summer passions, but those of us who are more kind of in the line of stability or looking for something more stable, there could be a slower moving energy. So especially if you have this Capricorn who's reaching out to you from the past, or they're coming out of some kind of a funk and they're like, bringing you into these plans and these ideas, you might kind of feel a little bit confused. For you all, the Hanged Man feels to me like you feel you're getting mixed signals, or you can't really figure out how Capricorn is seeing you or viewing you, because maybe they're showing up with this warmth towards you or this affection towards you, but you're having a hard time placing it. Like, what is this? Are we just friends? Do they just really like me, but they're not having the passion for me? Or are they just kind of looking for a friends with benefits? You might have a hard time kind of linking or figuring out what this closeness is for Capricorn, or how they're experiencing it. I do feel, because of the Magician card coming up, and that energy coming in, it feels to me like a lot of these changes are causing Capricorn to feel like their luck is changing and that they can have stability in their life. But as a result, they're trying to figure out what that's going to look like for them, and they're not wanting to mess this up. And they might even be a little bit confused in terms of like what you want, or how to win you over, or how to impress you. I'm not sure why, but for some reason when that Magician card came up, I got a strong feeling of like wanting to impress you or wanting to perform for you in some way. And that's not typically a feeling that I get from the Magician card. But again, I just feel like Capricorn is in a place where they just want you to see them in a positive light, to think positively of them. And they might not be sure what you're looking for. And they might not be sure, as they're coming into this more balanced, stable energy, like the best way to move forward in making that happen. So your Capricorn could benefit maybe from some advice or a little bit of direction from you. I feel like maybe they're open for that, whereas maybe in the past they weren't. I think this is a good time for you. You might have to be the one where you're taking the initiative to start certain conversations or dialogues, or to express your thoughts or feelings about the situation. And then they will probably follow suit and open up like, hey, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, because I feel like they don't know how to bring it up, or they're not sure how to bring it up, or they're not sure how you're feeling. They're like, okay, well, you know, Crosswatcher's talking to me again, but maybe they're just into me as a friend. Maybe they just can't forgive me for the past. Maybe they're not looking for anything. So I kind of feel there's this energy between Capricorn and Crosswatcher where you guys are trying to figure each other out. You're just kind of like, yeah, like, you know, you're trying to read each other, and maybe both of you are getting a little bit confused, and Capricorn's not going to be the one to start the conversation. Capricorn's not going to be the one to be like, hey, so by the way, I've been meaning to talk to you, I've been meaning to ask you. They might need you to do it, but once you do it, I feel like they're going to be glad that you did it, because it's like, okay, great, now we can kind of talk. Or they might kind of want to hear your side of things first before they jump in and like say what they're thinking or what they're feeling. Okay, and then next we have 9 of Water. So this is a really good energy. This is like wishes coming true. This is financial abundance. Your Capricorn might be doing really good right now, or they're about to do really good financially, and so there's this situation of being happy or being very committed. If you are with this Capricorn or dealing with this Capricorn, I do feel they're looking for commitment, but there's also, with 9 of Cups, there's sometimes an energy of a lot of independence. So if you're looking to move in with this person, they might not be in an energy where they're wanting to move in with anybody super quick, because they're going to be in this energy where like life is going good and they're starting to feel good about where they are, and they're kind of liking to have alone time, or they're liking to be able to do things for themselves, or treat themselves, or have a little extra money that they can put aside. It can come off as a little bit like not wanting to share in some ways. But it's just, I think it's going to be a temporary thing that will eventually change, because what comes after 9 of Water is 10 of Water, or 9 of Cups after 9 of Cups is 10 of Cups. And that's like, you know, being together, you know, making a life, making a family, all that good stuff. For those of you who are in a committed relationship, or especially if you are living with somebody, or you're talking about moving on with somebody, if that conversation's already been happened, or you're already living with the person, I'm getting a sense of like a man cave, or like a she shed kind of energy. Like drawing some distance or drawing some kind of lines or boundaries within a living situation is going to be what is going to make it work for you guys. There needs to be a little bit of private space. There needs to be a little bit of separation, and that ultimately is bringing you all closer together. So say you were already in a situation with this person where you were spending a lot of time with them in the past, and you're dealing with some kind of reconciliation between the two of you, and you're like, man, how can things be better this time around? Chances are your Cappy here, your Capricorn, is gonna benefit from having like a little space that is theirs, that is their spot, somewhere that they can go, somewhere where they can just kind of be alone and be in their little happy place. I feel that for a lot of you, you're dealing with a Capricorn who is having a very positive shift, where maybe in the past when they needed alone time, it was because they were angry or they were cranky or they needed to go somewhere and like brood or like, you know, vent their frustrations, and they were just kind of like, look, I don't want you to be, you know, around me right now because I'm not in a good mood. This time around, that alone time, because they've had this shift, it's kind of like, well, I want to spend some time alone and I want to work on a project. So they might have a little place where they want to tinker, they want to build stuff, they want to work on a car, or they want to just kind of tinker around in the garage, or they want to do some kind of you know, creative project or art project, or do some writing or work on their music, or, you know, whatever it is. They just want to have their little happy place where they can go and do that. So if you are trying to look at ways in which, like in the home environment, to make things better, your Capricorn is going to benefit by having some kind of little space that they can go to. Okay, so that's something for you to keep in mind. So there also might be times where, like, you know, they're just wanting to go off and just do things on their own. It's nothing against you. It's not about not liking you or not wanting to be around you. It's just kind of they're coming into this more positive connection within themselves and wanting to enjoy the fruits of their labor. I do think that, you know, a lot of you are dealing with a Capricorn who's thinking of you more seriously or thinking of you long term, but they're not in a rush to get to that next phase super fast. But I think if they can see and they can realize that this is a connection or a relationship in which they can maintain some of their individuality and their independence, then they're going to feel more comfortable to move forward or to take those next steps. Next, we have the Strength card. Okay, so the Strength card is a major arcana card. Typically, with the Strength card, it's associated with the astrological sign of Leo. So your Capricorn may have Leo in their chart. You may be a Leo, but not necessarily. Okay, but if you do have Leo in your chart, or if your Capricorn has Leo in your chart, then these are going to be energies that are coming into the relationship for you to keep in mind and bear in mind in terms of how to make this relationship work. Leo needs positive recognition. Leo needs to have that positive attention. Leo needs to hear that what they're doing is being appreciated, right? And so if you have those tendencies or traits, it might be good for Capricorn to know or to hear from you that they need that verbal kind of affirmation or validation, that you need that from them. Or if they have Leo in their chart, they might be needing that from you. Overall, though, the Strength card, let's put astrology aside, let's put the zodiac aside. Overall, the Strength card is about long-term for me. It's about commitment. It's about endurance. It's about standing the test of time. It's about vulnerability and strength. You know, typically when we see the Strength card in most tarot decks, it is a woman with a lion. And, you know, that lion is just beside her like this protector, like this guardian over her, right? She's able to touch the lion. Lion's totally cool with her. But if I were to walk up to that lion, or if I were to walk up and try to touch the lion or try to touch her, chances are that lion's going to rip me to shreds. So the message here is that you're going to win this person over by recognizing their own vulnerability and maybe being cautious. Maybe you are dealing with a Capricorn that has a bit of a temper. You know, when I see the Strength card, I always kind of imagine the relationship between the woman and the lion. She didn't win this lion over by coming in and whipping it into shape and yelling at it and, you know, kicking it around. That lion would have eaten her up. So I always just kind of imagine she kept her distance. She was cautious. She was careful. She read its signs. She read its cues. Maybe she left it food. Maybe she left it water. Maybe she, you know, took care of it when it was sick. And little by little developed this trust, developed this closeness, and now she has this protector. So that could be a big aspect between you, Crosswatcher, and your Capricorn. Your Capricorn may be needing that from you, maybe needing that gentleness or that care or that understanding. And if you can come in with that energy, you're going to have a very loyal partner. You're going to have a best friend. You're going to have someone that's going to fight for you and protect you. But they might be needing some of that care from you or some of that gentleness from you, that recognition from you in the meantime. Your next card here is Five of Earth. So this is interesting because Capricorn does seem to be doing better in their life. But Five of Earth, when it comes up, it's kind of a card about uncertain finances or going out into the unknown. So it could be maybe they're doing well in their life, but, you know, reconnecting with you or thinking about the future with you, they might start thinking that, okay, well, maybe money's better for me, but now that there's these bigger plans or these bigger ideas, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull in those kinds of finances, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to make that happen or have the funds, you know, for those things. There could be some uncertainty. I do feel that if you do move forward with this Capricorn and you guys are looking towards things like, marriage or weddings or, buying a house or having kids or whatever it might be, they might have some concerns financially. And remember when you had that Hangman card come up, this is a big part of it, where there might be a little bit of like a, wait a minute, let's slow down here for a minute. Five of Earth, though, does make me feel like you all are deciding to move forward and to do this. But there's going to have to be a lot of planning. There's going to have to be budgeting. There's going to have to be some discipline here. There's going to have to be some sacrifice here. You know, what are you giving up to get what you want in terms of financial? And Five of Earth, it doesn't mean you should be afraid. It's just you're going into this unknown territory. And you're learning less is more, and you're learning to make your resources last longer. And there's a feeling, and there's this thing with Five of Earth, because you are going through this uncertainty, and you might not be rolling in the dough, so to speak. So you learn to become closer. You learn who your true friends are. You learn who your true blue friends are. You learn the real meaning of love. You learn the real meaning of loyalty, support, especially that strength card with the loyalty. This is about learning to depend on each other and encourage each other through the hard times. And, you know, you had the Major Arcana card come up with strength. You had the Major Arcana come up with the Magician. You had Major Arcana come up with the Hangman. This is a very significant soulmate connection. You all were kind of meant to meet and to be interacting with one another, and you're going to be helping each other have this really massive phase of growth in through the coming months. Five of Earth is not going to be something that's going to be summed up in like a time period of a week or even a time period of a month. It could be several months, but it's definitely going out into the unknown and sticking by each other's side and making this happen and learning the true meaning of love, the true meaning of connection. Maybe you all are doing things together where you're becoming a lot closer by doing things that aren't going to cost a lot of money. Maybe you're not whining and dining and buying each other presents and going on fancy trips, but you're learning to connect in very simple ways. A trip to the grocery store can be a very time of bonding or strength, or preparing a meal together, or going for a walk. These could be the ways in which you're really bonding with one another as well. So there could be a simplicity here that's bringing in a lot of strength and connection as you're planning or saving money for bigger things for the future. All right, my darlings, I love videos are going to be up in a couple of days. So if you've hit subscribe and notification, you'll get a notice when the love videos are up, and you can watch the love video for your own sun sign. And then don't forget to check out the weekly forecasts too, guys. Those are very helpful, very beneficial. They're not just about love. The weekly forecasts are for all the other areas of life. So really important stuff, helpful stuff. And I thank you for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Have a fabulous July, Crosswatcher.